This lesson is on solving system of equations using elimination. Solving using elimination, we're going to line up the two equations, one on top of each other, and make sure that our variables and our constants are lined up, one on top of each other. And then we're going to add or subtract the two equations for one variable to cancel out or be eliminated to make a new equation with one variable. Solve this system of equations using elimination. First thing I want to make sure is that my variables and constants are lined up. So my x's are lined up, my y's are lined up, the equal signs are also lined up, and then my constant terms are lined up as well. Now I want to see which variable do I think is going to be eliminated. The variable that's going to be eliminated is a variable that's going to have the same coefficient. In this case, the y's both have -9 as their coefficient. Since they're the same sign, I'm going to subtract these two equations. -2x minus -4 is 2x. -9y minus -9y is 0. And then -25 minus -23 is a -2. So now I'm just left with one equation with one variable, and I can divide both sides by 2, and I'm left with x is equal to -1. Another way to solve this when you're subtracting is to do keep change opposite. So I'm going to keep the entire top equation the same, -2x minus 9y equals -25. And now I'm going to do the opposite of the entire bottom equation. So I'm going to have a positive 4x, a positive 9y, and a positive 23. Now I'm going to add my two equations. So I'm still left with 2x. My y's still are eliminated, and that's equal to -2. So it's the same process, same numbers. It just helps keep track of your negative numbers better. And now, since it's a system of equations, I also have to solve for y. So I'm going to substitute my x into either equation. I'm going to pick my top one just because the first number of -2 is smaller. So I have -2, parentheses -1, minus 9y equals -25. This gives me positive 2 minus 9y equals -25. And when I subtract 2 from each side, -9y equals -27. Divide by -9, y is equal to 3. And since it's a system of equations with x and y, I'll write my answer as -1, 3. Solve this system of equations. So we notice that my y's have the same coefficient again, and they're the same sign. So I'm going to subtract my two equations. 8x minus -3x, that's 11x. Y minus y is 0, so that is eliminated. And -16 minus a -5 is -11. Divide both sides by 11, and x is equal to -1. Now I have to find y. I'm going to use my bottom equation. So I have -3 times -1 plus y is equal to -5. 3 plus y equals -5. And when I subtract 3, y is equal to -8. So my final answer as an ordered pair is -1, -8. Now we have a word problem, so we have to write our system of equations first and then solve it. So the local deli charges a fee for delivery. On Monday, they delivered 2 dozen bagels for a total cost of $8. Tuesday, it was 3 dozen bagels for a total cost of $11. So we're going to write our two equations. For Monday, we have the 2 dozen bagels, and B is going to represent our dozen bagels. So we have 2B plus the delivery fee of F is equal to $8. On Tuesday, it's 3 dozen bagels, so 3B plus my delivery fee is equal to $11. Now my F have the same coefficient, so I'm going to subtract my two equations. 2B minus 3B is negative 1B. F minus F is 0, so it gets eliminated. And 8 minus 11 is negative 3. So I would divide both sides by negative 1, and B is equal to 3. Now I also have to find F, so I have 2 times 3 plus F equals 8. 2 times 3 is 6, plus F is equal to 8. When I subtract 6 from both sides, F is equal to 2. So since this is a word problem, I'm going to give a word answer and say a dozen bagels cost $3, and the delivery fee is $2. Solve this system of equations. Now I notice my x's have the same coefficient. I'm just looking at the number, not the sign at first. So that's going to be my variable that gets eliminated. Now since they're different signs, now I'm going to add my two equations. 4x plus negative 4x is 0, so it becomes eliminated. Negative 2 plus 4 is a 2y, and negative 1 plus a negative 2 is negative 3. So I divide both sides by 2, and I'm left with y is equal to negative 1.5. Now to find x, I'm going to use my top equation, so I have 4x minus 2 times a negative 1.5 is equal to negative 1. So I have 4x, negative 2 times a negative 1.5 is a positive 3 is equal to negative 1. Subtract 3 from both sides. 4x equals negative 4. When I divide by 4, x is equal to negative 1. So I write my ordered pair as negative 1, comma, negative 1.5. And last problem. I notice, again, my x's have the same coefficient of 4, and they're different signs, so I'm going to add my two equations. 4x plus negative 4x is eliminated to give us 0. 8y plus 2y is 10y. 20 plus negative 30 is negative 10. Divide both sides by 10. Y is equal to negative 1. Now to find x, I'm going to substitute in 4x plus 8 times negative 1 equals 20. 4x minus 8 equals 20. Add 8 to both sides. 4x is equal to 28. And divide both sides by 4. X is equal to 7. So my ordered pair would be 7, negative 1.